My name's Chad Clark. You probably saw the first video, and I'm back in. So my name's Chad Clark, and I help people, especially kids, playing soccer in the ages of 12 to 17 years of age. We want to help them prevent ACL injuries and knee pain. This is important because it allows them to, first of all, prevent injuries to their knee, make them play better, faster, with all the running and cutting that they can do. This speaks to their underlying desire, most of them, to play at a high-level varsity, high school, college, possibly even pro level. What we have in this video are some do's and don'ts. What you always want to do, number one, we find this is like the number one thing every time we see someone, you should keep it pain-free. So any training method that you do, no matter where you get it from or what you came up with or how great it is, it should not be painful. So you want to keep it, the do is keep it pain-free. The don't is don't have it be painful. I know that sounds really simplistic, but a lot of people will push through the pain, and that pain is your body's warning sign, signal saying, hey, there's something wrong. And it doesn't even have to be knee pain. Some people will have ankle pain or hip, and that will drive pain or dysfunction either up or down the chain. Some people use the word upstream, downstream. Pain can come from other places. This is why we always check everything through the whole body, especially at the knee, which is what we're talking about, trying to prevent these knee and ACL injuries, which are very prevalent throughout the United States right now, especially with soccer. The second thing, safety. So you always want to do the doing part, you want to keep it very safe. People are like, well, what do you mean safe? You always want to look at your environment. So obviously, real basic things, you want to make sure if there's a hole in the field or a divot, try to stay away from that, or at least be aware of where it is and steer clear of it. Wear the appropriate shoe wear, cleats, or different types of shoes, depending if you're playing indoor or outdoor soccer. You just want to make it safe. You find those are the two key things, the pain rule, to keep it pain-free, and to keep it as safe as possible. Those are the first top two of what you want to do. Keep it safe and pain-free. And I have a little cheat sheet, so I have to look at that. So number 3, these are in no particular order, even though I still think safe and pain-free is top options. But you want to make sure you mobilize the area. So that first video really talked about that, where you want to get mobility at the ankle, which then in turn gives you mobility at the knee and hip, when we showed those 3-dimensional stretches on how to prevent ACL injuries.
But it still is dollar.
If you don't get mobility first, there's almost no way to get to the next level, the next doing part, number 4, which is stability. A quick thing I'll just show right now is someone can have all the great mobility from those 3-dimensional stretches we went through, but then we have them test something where they're kind of doing like a stability step over or a balance reach that we'll talk about later in upcoming videos. If you don't have the motion first, it's going to be very tough to get the stability. But once you have the motion, which hopefully worked in that first video and helped you out, you want to get the stability. Now that's important, and some people think, oh, I'll stop there. I have the mobility, I have the stability. There's another doing to all this. The 5th do is you want to have good strength, which then ultimately leads to power. But strength is now having a simple equation we use is force times distance, even if you're only using your body weight. Because some people might say, oh, my child's younger than 12 and I don't know about lifting weights. Fine, just do body weight training. You want to make sure you have the mobility, the stability, and then the strength to actually be able to do a really symmetrical looking squat. I'm just using one example. It could be lunge movement, it could be stepping up or down for strengthening, but you want to make sure you have the 3 components. Safety, pain-free are the rules. Work on mobility first, then stability, then strengthening, then you can get more powerful and add speed. Because a lot of times what's holding you back with your speed is your mobility. You don't have mobility, so you can't have mobility, you can't have the stability or strength, so you're missing the main components. There's no way you can get faster. A 6th doing would be if there's pain with it, you don't feel safe, you don't feel like you have the mobility, stability, strength, there's just all these things, you're like, well, I don't even know where to begin. that's where you want to call us and let us know. You can email or call, stop by, and we can show you what to do. So some of the don'ts, I mentioned one when I was going through the first do. One of the don'ts is don't push through the pain. So it goes back to the doing is keep it pain-free. The don't is don't have pain with any of the exercises, or even in practice. I know it's tough because coach, let's just push through this and go through it. But if you're hurting, it's not worth it. It will set you up for an injury, and that's not good. Number two, what you don't want to do is listen to all the so-called experts out there. And I know there's a lot on the internet. I mean, the internet's great, but there can be a lot of misinformation, and you just don't want to just listen to any person. You want to make sure they have solid credentials and a good background. We've been doing this 20 years, working on prevention and performance, especially in the soccer arena, but all types of sports. And you just want to make sure that a person knows and has background of what they're talking about and has results, that they can show results with real people, which we've proven. Number three, you don't want to incorporate too many systems. So let's say you find some good experts out there and you found them, like, no, I have these great systems. If you have too many systems going on and you're like, well, I'm doing this mobility for this thing and this stability and this strengthening and this power phase and it's all over the place, that's not good either. You'd think it would be because you're like, well, I have all these different options, but you want to have one solid system. Again, mobility, stability, strength, build upon it. It's like any pyramid or a house. You want to have a good foundation as you build and layer things on there. Too many systems actually can ruin your house and bring it down. Another don't is to do too much too soon. Some people think, well, I'll do all that stuff. I'll do mobility, stability, strength, I'll just do it all. Again, you want to go back and not do too much too soon, because if you do, it will actually can promote an injury, which is exactly what we're trying to prevent. So doing too much too soon, that's not a good idea. Another one, number 5, this will be the last one on that one, is to start something too soon. It kind of goes along with the first one, where and the other one before that, doing too many systems, doing too much too soon. You want to have it in the right placement. Some people will truly skip over. They'll go, well, I'm mobile enough. Again, you want to look back at the test we did in video 1 and make sure you've maintained that mobility when you get the proper stability. And then when you're stable and you work on the strength phase, you want to still make sure you keep your stability as you're strengthening. Some people, they'll kind of get the mobility and they'll kind of get stability, and then they'll work on their strengthening because that's the cool, fun part of it. And then little do they know that their stability and mobility is eroding. It's lessening, it's decreasing, even though they're getting stronger. And they don't know that because they don't test it. So you always want to go back and test. Okay, now that I'm really strong and I'm actually getting faster, did I maintain my mobility and stability? If you did not, and you find, wow, I've lost some of that mobility on that test we showed in video 1, where I can't even keep my heel down, even though I'm stronger and I'm more powerful, you might even be faster. If you lost that mobility, it can come back to bite you and cause an injury. So we want to make sure you don't have that happen. To wrap all this up, so we have the do's and don'ts. There'll be a handout that you could download on the video or below the video here. If you ever need it, you can always email us or call us. And what we want to do is extend the offer again. So if you want to get screened, not if you need to, when you need to, we have that $15 15-minute option, or the VIP for $59, where we do a more thorough screen treatment and assessing, and actually give you a more detailed look at what we've been talking about in these videos. So definitely, if you have any questions, email us and call us as soon as possible.